It's BellaRocket Gaming here, and this is my final review of the Marvels. This is going to be the only warning if you have not seen the Marvels film yet. I know it was just released, but I already did my spoiler-free review. You should check that out if you haven't seen the movie, because this Marvel review will have spoilers. The recap. The Marvels. So, the movie starts off unfortunately with Darben searching for the bangle. Yes, like the one Kamala has, but I'll get to that later. Darben finds the other bangle that happens to be in space, but is unable to find the other one, knowing it's supposed to be in Parris. Not knowing who has it, we cut to our new favorite superhero fangirl, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, as she sketches out her imagination like a comic, which was very unique to see on the big screen, but not much starts with Kamala, as it's just her everyday fangirling as she tries to convince her mother Muniba she's doing science homework and not fan comics. Then we're greeted with both Captain Marvel and Monica, no, not in the same room, but it jumps between their scenes as they're both in outer space. Carol being in outer space since Fury requested her a mission about the other bangle, while Monica and a few other Saber agents are looking for something in space. Monica being Monica, not learning from past mistakes, tries to push her way through another cosmic wall force, where she switches places with Kamala Khan, as Kamala is now floating quickly in space trying to calm down. She doesn't calm down. We then get a look at Saber quarters and the other agents as they find this weird brain-shaped egg, which will be important later. That's when Carol, Monica, and Kamala start switching places. After fighting the Kree at Kamala's house, while fighting the Kree at the Skrulls refugee place, where the Kree also stay, but before that, Darben and the new Skrull leader, no, it's not Talos, are pleading with each other. It's obvious that Darben was going to turn on the Skrulls if they didn't give her what she wanted. Throughout the film, she was saying her son was dying. Now, at the time, I thought she meant her son, like a kid, but she was talking about the literal son. It makes sense later, kind of. But back to the switches. After Kamala, the last to switch, Kamala and her family finally stopped the two Kree that attacked them when Monica and Fury show up to explain the situation. Kamala gets excited that they have intel information on her, while her parents not so much. Monica tried to explain why her powers, Kamala's, and Carol's powers are connected. Kamala gets a bit confused at Monica calling Carol Aunt Carol, but then gets all fangirl and bubbly, explaining how she thought she'd meet her favorite hero. Just then, Kamala shows how she uses her powers and swaps places with Carol, who was previously flying in the sky, making Kamala now falling from the sky. The Khans, Fury, and Monica go outside, but just before that, Kamala and Carol switch places earlier when Carol and Monica adorable but awkwardly meet. Carol gets upset wondering what happened to Kamala and flies off to go to the Kree, and that's when Kamala switched in the sky. Now, Monica has tapped into all her powers as she uses her black arrow magic as motivation to fly up to catch Kamala. But Monica, not knowing how to use her powers fully, struggles a bit and phases through Kamala whenever she tries to catch her. Kamala gets an idea as she holds onto Monica and uses her heart-like powers to make a shield around them, obviously not wanting to crash. Kamala and Monica crash but swap places with Carol just before, as they both were using their powers at the same time. Kamala and Monica get stuck with the Kree and Darben. Having no choice but to not fight, they put their hands up. Kamala notices that Darben has the other bangle, and we finally get a smart movie character as Kamala brilliantly hides the bangle she has with her sleeve. Darben slightly explains her plan like all villains do, then sends the Kree to fight Kamala and Monica. Monica reminds Kamala they cannot use their powers to fight. That's when Carol, aka Captain Marvel, appears to help fight. Now that all three of the Marvels are there, they can finally use their abilities to fight off the Kree, but of course while swapping places. I think Darben takes notice of that and escapes off the floating ship. After the Marvels fight off the Kree successfully, Carol and Monica fly after Darben off the ship, both accidentally leaving Kamala there, not realizing she can't fly. Kamala being Kamala tells the Kree that are hiding, not wanting to get beat up, that she cannot fly, but Carol goes back to get Kamala and flies themselves out of there. From this point on, I will be referring to Kamala, Carol, and Monica as the Marvels whenever the three are in the same room. The Marvels then safely aboard Carol's ship as Kamala's family, the Khans, onto Saber with Fury. Kamala has to stay with Monica and Carol on the ship to avoid any further switching, but her mother Muniba isn't a fan of that and wants Kamala back home. But the Marvels and Fury explain that Kamala has to be there. Kamala's mother Muniba comedically threatens Monica's safety for Kamala's in Pakistan. Monica, not knowing what she said, asks Kamala, but Kamala decides to not explain for their sake. The Marvels are trying to recover on Kara's ship. By that, I mean freshening up from the situational fight as Kara and Monica fixes a part of the engine on the ship. Monica awkwardly explains that she waited for Kara's return like she had promised back in the Captain Marvel movie, which makes the situation awkward for Kara and Monica as Kara gets teary and tries to explain she wasn't able to at the time. The Marvels then meet back up on the main part of Kara's ship as they promptly greet each other, where Kamala fangirls over Kara once more, trying to play it off cool. The Marvels try to figure out what Dar-Ben is after next, and realizing she's targeting every planet and people Kara cares about. That's when the Marvels realize how they are switching places and starts training, not by fighting each other, but in a more comedic way, which honestly makes more sense. My favorite one is where they were training to switch by double dutching with jump ropes. After training, Kara explains what planet Dar-Ben is after next. That's someone she knows, who she has a legal obligation with, not wanting to tell Kamala and Monica she was married and was a princess of that planet. Weirdly, Kara's planet she's the princess on, the senses there don't talk but only talk through singing. Not to worry, it doesn't last long since most of it has been cut out of the movie, according to rumors. As the Marvels are being greeted by the musical citizens, Kamala, of course, is really the only one enjoying every second of it. Then we meet the Prince Yan, Carol's friend that she's married to. As Prince Yan starts singing as well as Carol, I didn't realize Brie Larson could sing, but she can sing. I'm personally not a big fan of musicals, but Carol and Prince Yan singing was very clean. Carol stops it though, as she needed to talk with Prince Yan about the battle armor. That's when we're greeted with the Marvels wearing the new suits, preparing for Dar-Ben's arrival on the planet. Dar-Ben meets with Prince Yan as Kamala stands by on watch. Dar-Ben tries to make a threat, but Prince Yan stands his ground and the fight begins. The Kree and Prince Yan's soldiers start fighting as Dar-Ben goes to steal their resources. Kamala then fights without her powers, as the prince tells her to use her scarf. Kamala uses her scarf to fight off the Kree as Carol and Monica go to fight Dar-Ben before she could steal the resources. Carol realizes when she uses her powers, Dar-Ben is able to use the bangle to steal it, but Monica steps in to help out after it seems Carol has lost the fight. But Carol and Monica back and forth are fighting Dar-Ben, where Carol and Kamala switches places after Kamala tries to get higher off ground using her hot light abilities. Dar-Ben sees that Kamala has the other bangle she needed, as Kamala claims she got it for her grandma due mail. Kamala gets told to quickly leave as Carol and Monica try to start Ben again, but Dar-Ben is able to create another jump point and steals the planet's water, and as it creates a weather storm. The storms then start taking apart the Skrulls' refugee camp, as the Marvels do the best to save as many as the Skrulls, while only Carol using her powers. Kamala gets told to not use her powers, but ends up doing it anyways to help the trapped Skrulls, but switches place with Carol after Carol realizes Kamala is not on the ship. Kamala makes it back to the ship and is confused why Monica and Carol are not helping the other Skrulls, as they have no choice but to help who they can as they escape out of the planet. Of course, not without the Kree chasing them with lasers and missiles. Monica wants to use the jump point to get off the planet, but Carol thinks she can fly them out, when Kamala last second decides to use the jump point to get them out. After using the jump point, the Marvels gets a bit stranded on this desert looking planet, where Monica then explains how she needed Carol as her aunt, not as Captain Marvel, after Carol explains that the situation of her nickname is why she didn't go back. Carol then apologizes to Kamala with the way she was acting a bit rude towards her during the escape, and Kamala accepts the apology and apologizes herself for coming on too strong with her fangirling over Carol being Captain Marvel and not giving her room to be human. The Marvels are then back in Carol's ship as Fury, Kamala's family, and the Saber agents are on board Saber as they realize there's more of those space eggs. The Marvels start fresh after understanding each other a bit more. Carol calls for a friend to help the other Skrulls stay rescued. Valkyrie appears and shares a small moment with Carol as she gives her a pep talk that she seems to need at that moment. Valkyrie then leaves with the rescued Skrulls. Carol realizes where Dar-Ben might be headed to next, Fury on Saber. The Marvels make their way back to Saber, where Kamala is reunited with her family as they let her know they fully support her with saving the universe. Unfortunately, the Saber is having malfunctions and most of the escape pods are not working. Fury, the Cons, and the Marvels get the idea to use the floor kittens to eat the Saber agents to have more room on the escape pods, since they could be spit out later. No, I am not joking, and yes, it was just as weird and comedic on screen. Also, the floor kittens are what hatched out the space eggs from earlier. Everyone escapes off Saber while the Marvels go to stop Dar-Benn. The Marvels try to talk things out, but Dar-Benn explains why Carol has the nickname she does, and that Carol is the reason her planet has no air, no sun, and no water for her people. Talking clearly does not work as the Marvels and Dar-Benn fight each other, while Dar-Benn notices Kamala still has the other bangle and holds Kamala hostage by pressing the staff on her. Carol and Monica are unable to do anything for the sake of Kamala as Dar-Benn gets the other bangle and gets both on. Dar-Benn tries to make another jump point as the Marvels try to stop her for doing so. The Marvels stopped Dar-Benn as both the bangles were too powerful for her, but the jump point was still made just before creating an opening to another reality. Monica steps up as Kamala now having both bangles and Carol's energy from her powers to blast Monica. Don't worry, Monica is okay as she is able to absorb the ability and tap into her full power to close the jump point to the other reality. But from the other side, Monica knew she had to sacrifice herself for it to close as Carol tries to fly to her to save her, but fails as the jump point to the other reality closes with Monica in it. Carol and Kamala comfort each other, upset about Monica not knowing if she's okay or not. Kamala is reunited with her family and Fury again back on Earth as she explains they lost Monica, and Carol is finishing her promise, helping fix the sun that was dying. We get to the end of the movie where I couldn't tell if Carol or the Cons were moving into Monica's house, but it was most likely Carol. Carol and Kamala have a moment as they check out the plane that Carol was looking after as the movie ends. That's where we get into the title of the video. This is a big spoiler, so if you haven't watched the movie and decided to see this video anyways, now would be the time to click off. But don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyways, we are greeted with Kate Bishop Hailey Steinfeld. Well, actually, her dog Lucky is the first to be greeted on screen. But Kamala, in the most Nick Fury style, pops up from the shadows as she greets herself to Kate Bishop, explaining, "You think you're the only kid superhero?" Kate responds by saying she's 23, which is a funny joke seeing that Kate a couple of years on Kamala. Kamala also mentions Ant-Man's daughter and how Kamala is recruiting young superheroes for her team. Kate Bishop doesn't exactly agree to be on Kamala's team, but gives a slight smile. This scene is clearly showing that Kamala Khan is starting her own Avengers team of young superheroes like Kate Bishop and Ant-Man's daughter. The Young Avengers are officially confirmed in the MCU by Kamala herself. Now, the post-credit scene is where we also get another confirmation where we see that Monica is actually okay, but in another universe where she meets an alternate version of her mother, Maria Rambeau, who doesn't seem to recognize Monica. Maria Rambeau, the alternate version, and Nightcrawler. Yes, I had to look it up. The man that's in all blue makes an appearance in the post-credit scene, confirming the X-Men team in the MCU. Alternate Maria Rambeau is shown to be wearing possibly the new X-Men suits as she stands by a door with a huge X on it, confirming the X-Men. I really enjoyed watching the Marvels. I had a great time seeing the chemistry dynamic between Kamala, Carol, and Monica, and of course seeing Fury back to his normal self, and he's more like his earlier phase self, but with all he knows now. The Marvels is a great movie. I walked in with high expectations and was meted. Since I am a fan of the three heroes, unfortunately Monica's superhero alias has not been confirmed, but throughout the movie Kamala was throwing out codename ideas, which was very fun. The Marvels is a very fun movie and definitely connects with the current multiverse phase of the MCU, confirming two fan favorite teams being the X-Men and the Young Avengers. So, whenever those projects will be out, you will definitely be confused if you didn't watch the Marvels. And yes, you will be confused watching the Marvels without seeing Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. WandaVision and Secret Invasion, not so much. But I'm sure everyone's seen WandaVision by now. Maybe. But personally, I have fun with this movie. The Marvels is not just a good movie, it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun, emotional, and has comedic moments, and very action-packed. It's totally a fan favorite for me, and that's my personal opinion. I give The Marvels an 8.9 out of 10. The rating would be higher if the movie was longer, but I am glad they cut the musical moment out. I hope you enjoyed this video and why you should go see The Marvels. It's a very big movie showing its importance to this MCU phase, and it's a lot of fun. If you're new to my channel, I make more reviews like this one. I also make gaming videos. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on this video. This is a family channel, so let me know what you think about the movie in the comments below, and on to the next one. Yes, I'm a fan of Captain Marvel. Rock it on!